you know, at KTM. Carlos is mechanic. I mean, that bike is set up. It is working good. And, you know, Dungey won 4 races last year. It's time to win the championship now.
Now, the issue was the whoops last year. I remember San Diego watching his bike through the whoops. That's the one everybody was getting upset about. All the industry folks were saying his bike just didn't look good. You know that he and Roger DeCoster and that entire team have put a lot of time into the suspension on that machine. And it's amazing to me the tech that is in that machine. We were down there talking to the Red Bull KTM team earlier and looking at the different tech pieces. They seem to be really pushing the envelope of these machines.
Well, when you get championships, they won the outdoor last year. You know, it's a lot easier to go back to the big bosses and ask for more money.
Andrew Short on that Honda.
Andrew just doesn't look, he's not going for it out there, in my opinion. He's already been on the ground once today. He's just kind of circling around. Andrew needs to get into the groove here and see what he can do. Andrew picked up his first win last year in Seattle, where this man actually left the championship with a left knee injury. Ryan Villopoto, the 2-time Supercross defending champion. And he came back at Monster Energy Cup back in October at Sam Boyd Stadium, and it's almost like he hadn't been injured. It's amazing, and I remember him coming back 2 years ago when he was coming off injury, and it was like it hadn't happened. He picked right up where he left off, and so far today on this track, it doesn't look any different than it has in the past. No, and something else that's new for the Kawasaki factory team, and they were trying it out, him and Jake Weimer at the Monster Energy Cup, is traditionally Kawasaki's used Kayaba suspension, front forks, KYB, but they're using Showa stuff now. So, you know, maybe that little crash that he had at the Monster Energy Cup, because him and Weimer both crashed in that same section, maybe it was a point that, you know, they just weren't used to the Showa suspension. You just watched the end of a fast lap. That suspension working well, 55.98. First one to put in a 55 on this track. Yeah, and see, he picked up his hand. He didn't triple that section. He knew that he laid down the fast time. He looked back over at his mechanic, probably in Mike Williamson, and says, okay, that was a good lap. Let's see what Stewart does. Now, a lot of these guys it's a cat and mouse game, you know. Once that guy lays it down, let's see if Stewart will lay down a fast time. Well, Ryan Dungey hanging out in 4th right now, but Dungey's infamous for coming in right at that last second lap and throwing down a fast lap right as the checkered flag comes out. Right now it's Villopoto, Stewart, Millsaps, Dungey, Kennard, Wyndham, Reed, Tickle, Brayton, and Weimer. There's Hill. Hill's down on the ground there. The Asterix medical people talking to him. He's talking to him. Everything looks to be okay. Looked like he had just a little tip over there, but Hill on the ground on that factory Suzuki for RCH. Yeah, and Hill came in healthy last year, and his return lasted all of 1 turn in a heat race as he went down with a broken tib fib in that first turn. There's Josh Grant as it's back to the future over at JGR. It's back to 2010. You have Grant and you have Brayton back with that team, back on those bikes. Interesting to have 2 riders go back to where they were. Well, and you got to remember that back in 09, when he first signed with the JGR team, he came away with their win, their only win. Let me take that back, because Stewart had a couple wins for him last year, but the first win at that for point. That team on Yamaha. Well, Josh Hill walking away. Doc Bodner going to take a look at him. He's actually going to get on the Asterix Mobile Medical Unit. There's Aaron Bates down there from Speed, kind of trying to find out, hey, are you all right, Josh? And hopefully he's back, and hopefully he's okay. What a nice shot that is from Anaheim. I mean, Southern